Hi, my name's Laura. I've been working in health and social care for over 25 years now, and I'm currently working as a therapist for Care Visions. So in this video, I'll be talking about how the act of reading can have many surprising and lasting benefits for us throughout our lives. We are delighted to be able to share with you a video of the contemporary poet Patience Agbabi today. She'll be reading a poem which was commissioned by the National Galleries in London and is based on one of the Titian paintings in their collection. You can follow along with some of the text for this poem and also appreciate the art that inspired it at the end of this film. So the World Health Organization defines healthy ageing as being the process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well-being in older age. Now, part of keeping this ability going involves keeping our brains healthy and having good mental health, and it seems that regular reading can be quite an easy and accessible way in which to approach this. Now, many of us are still spending much more time at home than usual, even with lockdown easing, and we're continuing to look for ways to keep our minds and bodies healthy safely from home. So reading can form part of a strategy to do this. It can help keep our minds and bodies healthy in ways that you might not have been aware of. So we're going to look at many more incentives either to keep on reading or to start a new reading habit today. Now, if you'd like to find out more regarding the research that's been done in this area, then you can check the reference list at the end of this video. So one significant aspect of having a healthy brain is what we call cognitive health. And that's the ability to think, to learn, and to remember. Now, in order to have good cognitive health, the National Institute of Aging recommends that we eat healthily, that we keep physically active, that we keep our minds active, and that we stay connected to people through the social activities that we enjoy. And reading is suggested by them as a way of keeping our minds active and engaged for longer. Now, in one research study, older adults who read and solved maths problems every day were shown to have improved their cognitive functioning, and this was still noticeable and measurable 6 months later, so it's really worth trying. Now, when you're reading, your brain is constantly changing, it's making new connections and creating different patterns depending on the material that you're absorbing. So it can really expand the ways that we think about things. And amazingly, exactly the same areas of the brain are stimulated by reading about something as by physically experiencing it. So, for example, if you're reading about somebody walking, the same parts of the brain that become activated when we walk can also be stimulated. So in a way, we're not only metaphorically in someone else's shoes when we read, but perhaps biologically as well. So reading causes a complex network of circuits and the signals in the brain to become activated. And the more you do it, the stronger and the more sophisticated these different brain patterns become. So reading can be really helpful for keeping our brains healthy and in good working order. Now, the more we read, the more our vocabulary is likely to increase, which in turn can better enable us to communicate, to express ourselves, and help improve the quality of our relationships with others. So while we often read when we're alone, reading fiction can also have a really social purpose as well. So maintaining positive and supportive relationships is an area which is really important for us in order to keep well for a longer time as we get older. And there is real evidence that regularly reading fiction can increase our ability to empathise, to understand the beliefs and feelings of others, and just help us to look at things from somebody else's perspective. And the ability to do this is crucial in building and navigating these vital relationships in our lives. In her book, Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing in Life, Anne Lamott writes, "Books help us understand who we are and how we are to behave. They show us what community and friendship mean." So in order to keep connected with social activities, many readers also take part in book clubs to help make reading a more collaborative experience. While it might not be possible to meet up in person for a book group just now, many book groups have moved online, and this can really help to increase feelings of being connected with others. So further ways that reading can physically affect our bodies and improve our sense of well-being is by reducing many of the symptoms associated with stress. Now, this can include lowering our blood pressure and our heart rate, as well as lessening feelings of psychological distress. Now, these effects have shown to take place just after a few minutes of reading, which can usually be fitted into even the busiest of schedules. Also, just reading for a little while can take us away from our everyday concerns and worries by transporting us to another time and place altogether. We can even learn new skills when we're reading, and those can include positive coping strategies, depending on the kind of things that we choose to read about. And the NHS have really embraced some of these benefits of reading through their Reading Well Books on Prescription programme, where medical experts prescribe self-help books specifically for certain conditions. And the stress lowering effects of reading mentioned earlier can also be used as part of a good sleep routine. So sleep experts recommend reading from printed text rather than ebooks, as the light from electronic devices can sometimes stop us from getting to sleep so quickly if used too close to bedtime. Finally, there is even evidence to suggest that regular reading of books compared to newspapers or magazines can actually help us to live longer lives, and this gives us even more time to read the things that we enjoy. So if you're out of the habit of reading, poetry can be a really great way of getting back into it again. It might be more accessible because of its shorter length, and you can still experience many of the same benefits as reading longer works. So here we have permission from the National Galleries in London to show this wonderful clip of the poet, performance artist and Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature, Patience Agbabi. Here she reads her work based on the painting by the celebrated Renaissance artist Titian, Diana and Actaeon.
I'm Patience Agbabi, reading a poem inspired mainly by the Diana and Actaeon painting, and it's called About Face, after Titian. Actaeon, you'll pay the price for looking like a god, athletic, proud, immortal. Diana, goddess of the hunt, will hound you. She is too harsh. You should have looked at me. I am her shadow, black, yet fairer than the mistress, clad in cloth finer than cirrus. I want you, Actaeon. I wish I were shroud white. Oh, that you'd notice me and mouth each monumental curve. Her handsome face off guard, you brushed aside the drape to see how cool she bathed. With the pool's spray, she cursed you for looking. In this pine-sweet grove, you turned from man to horned and dappled stag, sentenced. Look how your fate reflects itself in water. Look how your fate reflects itself in water, from man to horned and dappled stag, sentenced for looking. In this pine-sweet grove, you turned. How cool she bathed. With the pool's spray, she cursed you. Off guard, you brushed aside the drape to see each monumental curve, her handsome face shroud white. Oh, that you'd notice me and mouth, I want you. Actaeon, I wish I were the mistress, clad in cloth finer than cirrus. I am her shadow, black, yet fairer than she is, too harsh. You should have looked at me. Diana, goddess of the hunt, will hound you like a god, athletic, proud, immortal. Actaeon, you'll pay the price for looking.
So I do hope you enjoyed that inspiring clip. It seems that there are many physical and psychological benefits to reading, including boosting the different connections in our brain, increasing our ability to relate to each other, improving our language abilities, maintaining our cognitive skills, reducing stress, and maybe also lengthening our lives. Now, all these things seem to accumulate over time, so these are great reasons to either keep on reading or to start your reading habit today. Now, for further information and related videos from Care Visions, please do see our website and YouTube channel, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be uploading more health ageing videos in the coming weeks, and we also have some videos coming up with the British Library, so please do keep checking our website for further information about this. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to have you with us.